What does it look like for leaders really to take responsibility for the culture and keep it accelerating on a corporation? What does that look like?
Yeah, I tell you, I think from a leader standpoint, first of all, hopefully there's already connection between the leader and the organization's purposes. Like, right? I hope the leader that we're talking about is already aligned with the mission of the organization, the values that have been established within the organization. And if we can start with that assumption, and I hope we can, then I think the leader's role in helping that culture evolve, come to life, stay resilient, it's a number of things. One is authentically connect with what we just talked about, like authentically connect with the values. And I think one of the single best tools, levers, whatever you want to call it, in an organization and for a leader leading an organization is to use the lens of the values of the organization. And when I say use the lens, I mean every decision can be filtered and traced back to, we chose A, not B, because of our value of resilience or our value of integrity or our value of excellence. And so the biggest thing I would say is look at every decision through the lens of your values, because it's a whole nother world if you can justify every decision you make by using the lens of the values. So the first thing I would say is, assuming again the leader is authentically aligned with the organization's mission, treat every decision like an opportunity to live out the values. Second thing I would say is there is significant power in vulnerable transparency. You and I talked about a little bit before we got on air about, being real and being an open book. I think one of the things that a leader can do to solidify a culture is, while they're living it out authentically, while they're making decisions through the lens of their values, is to authentically be transparent and to be vulnerable. Vulnerable is a hot word. It has been for, 5 or 10 years, but it's just this idea that bring your whole self to work, let your team experience you as God has built you and made you and equipped you. And if you can do those two things, live and work through the lens of the values and vulnerably show up whole with the organization, I think those two things are speed dials for the culture of an organization. Similarly, if either one of them is off track, they are a huge brake pedal for a culture. If a leader isn't authentically aligned, or they're making decisions that don't align with the values, or if they're closed off and not bringing their whole self to work, and there's a Monday through Friday Steve, and there's a Saturday and Sunday Steve. And I think those are just two of the huge levers that a leader can turn and dial in for an organization's culture.